this is different. Well, oh, there, maybe that worked. Hope I'm live. So hey, everybody, if you recall from my little schedule, today I wanted to talk about tatting, but I don't just want to talk about tatting, I want to talk about tatting and beads. And I want to talk about bead placement and like how to put beads in your tatting. And so I have like a whole pile of stuff. I know you can't see it yet, but I have a whole pile of stuff with me to do that. And oh, let's see, what do I need to tell you? We have a poncho knit along that is happening right now. And Wednesday I will have kit day. So that's in 2 days. In 2 days I'm going to do kit day. And then I'm going to take the next week off for Thanksgiving and kind of do my like little mini Thanksgiving with you know, Ina and my husband and all of the creatures that live here. And what else do I need to tell you? Yeah, so that's kind of that's kind of the schedule for now. And then when I come back after Thanksgiving, I don't know, what should we do? I'm open to suggestions. I've had one person suggest that they would like to have a discussion about sock toes and talk about like shaping, because not all sock toes fit all people. And so if you are knitting your own socks, then you can tailor the sock toe to fit you better. So that's one possibility for right after I come back from Thanksgiving. If not, I'll probably put that up as a separate little video on YouTube, and then I will share it to Facebook. And I did put up the blocking video for the shawl last week, so that is up now. It's up on YouTube, so make sure that you have subscribed to our Black Sheep YouTube channel as well, so that you can check that out. So today let's talk about beads and tatting. So I'm gonna like flip my camera down and show you like all the goodies that I brought out here, and I have a ton of goodies that I brought out here. Okay, let's just drop this down. There we go, there's some of the goodies. So I actually brought out some books because we do carry a lot of books at Black Sheep Fiber Emporium, especially tatting books, because I love my tatting books. And if there's one you're looking for and you can't find, let me know and I'll see if we can get it in. I especially love the Japanese tatting books. First of all, they're beautiful, like beautiful, beautifully photographed, beautiful. And second, they have great diagrams. So I love the Japanese tatting books, and there's a bunch of new ones that I would really like to get. So if you want some, let me know, because you know, I'd really like to get some more of these in. And then I also really like I like small books too. So the Japanese books are kind of big books, but I also like some of these small books that you see out and about that are meant for you know, just a few projects. So there's like 12 snowflakes in here or something. And Charlie is desperately, say hi to Charlie. There's Charlie. He is like trying to crawl over here, yep, on the table to say hi. And I'm trying to encourage him not to crawl on the table to say hi. Thank you, Charlie. Anyway, so we carry a lot of books, and I really love books. Tina really loves books. We are, what's that, bibliophiles? Is that the people who love books? Yeah, we love books. So we carry a ton of tatting books and knitting books and all kinds of stuff at Black Sheep. So make sure that you're checking that out. We will probably have a sale on books as part of our 12 days of Christmas. Tina and I still need to talk about that, but it's usually one of the days. So here's just a little tiny like sample of tatting right here. This is a little metallic thread that I was sampling, just having a little fun with. I really like this thread. It's very nice. We've talked about maybe getting some of this in, but we haven't completely decided yet if we're going to do that. Let's see. So then let's talk about some beads. So I love beads, but beads come in a lot of different sizes. Let's see, these are leftover. I think these are 6 I tend to tat with like these guys, some, oh, what size are these? Hang on, I can tell you in just a second. I have too many beads. I think these are 12s. Just a second. 11s. I usually tat with 11s. I really like 11s. I tend to tat with a lot of 11s, but you can tat with larger beads. Depends on the size of thread that you're using. So the larger the number, the fewer beads fit in a standard measurement. So that's why this one's like an 11. This one I think was a 6. So these are clearly much, much bigger beads than these guys. And when it comes to adding beads to your work, most of the time if you have like size 20 or 40 thread, you're usually going to be working with the size 11 beads. And this is another thing that I really love. This is called a sticky bead mat. It's by Beadsmith, but your beads don't roll off. I happen to have the film on here, but the beads don't fall off. There's no beads. Oop, look, I got it stuck. There's no beads falling off. Okay. But when they get dirty, you can wash them and dry them, and then they're good to go again. So super nice, because you can take this with you anywhere you go, and your beads are not going to fall off. So I really love the sticky bead mat, and I like that you can like peel this off and stick it down if you want, but because I was just demonstrating, I don't want to do that. I'm just gonna put the sticky piece, the little plastic, back on so it's not too sticky. So bead placement. Let's talk about bead placement. With tatting, if you recall, we have thread that is in two different places, right? Because we have ball thread, and then we have shuttle thread, or we have like two different shuttles. And this little guy right here, like when you are trying to put beads right in the center of something, these are actually hooked onto a self-closing mock ring in the center, so that they sit in the center. Here, you can't see that. So that they sit in the center. But if you recall, when I was teaching you about tatting earlier this year, and if not, welcome, and hopefully you'll learn a little something about tatting. There it is. Beads can sit in two different places, right? They can sit in the rings, or they can sit in the chains. And in order to get beads in your chain, they have to come from your ball thread, or they have to come from a second shuttle. And in order to get beads in your rings, then your beads have to sit in your shuttle. And then you can choose the placement of those beads so that they can either be between stitches, or they can take the place of a picot. And so this one, let's see if I can get a decent shot of this. It's very bright and windy out today. Not my best videography. There we go. So these guys are taking the place of a picot, and in order to do that, you have to place it so that your beads are held on the ring in your hand, and then you flip them in order to get those beads. And so when it comes to beads with tatting, there are many, many different places that you can add beads. And these are like bright and shiny beads, but they're not showing up very well on my camera today. Seriously, bright and shiny beads. There's some bright and shiny beads. So when it comes to your tatting, usually you have to make a decision about beads before you start, because a lot of times you're going to be pre-stringing them. If you aren't pre-stringing them, then you'll be inserting them on a picot, just like you would over a live knit stitch. And for pre-stringing, I really, really love these things. This is called a bead aid, and this is what it looks like. It's just a little piece of metal that's bent. But it's very handy because you can grab your string and you just pop it down in the center. And then I have some extra beads in here, so we'll just scoop some up. You scoop some beads up, and then You have to make sure that they go over the long portion of the bead aid first and then slide over the other two, but now these two beads are just going to slide right down and onto your work. So these are super, super useful for pre-stringing your beads in knitting, crochet, tatting, whatever you want to use them with. We do carry these in the shop. They're called a bead aid. And again, they're super, super useful because it's really easy to pop those beads on. I don't know if you can see how easy that is. Just pop, 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 pop. So easy to slide them on. So if you have to pre-string, I really, really recommend getting a bead aid. You can, of course, do this with the Flegel beater or a crochet hook, but for me, I really love these. I love the bead aids. They're super nice for this. Super nice for this. Let's see, what else do I need to tell you about beading? You can, of course, use beads that are bigger than called for. It will change the look of your project, and it will also alter the weight of it, the fit of it, etc. Oops, those go in here too. I love beads. I have like way too many beads. Like this whole bag right here. This whole bag, this is all full of beads because I really love beads. I don't use them as much as I should. Mostly I like to look at them and pet them. So it's a little bit like my yarn stash at the moment. But then again, Ina doesn't really let me tat or knit, so I do have an excuse. I'm trying to think. These are 8s, just to give you an idea of the difference between a size 8 and a size 11. At least I think these are 11s. No, that tube doesn't tell me. I get a tube where it tells me what size they are. There's 11s. So there's bead size differences, right? 8s versus 11s. It's just the number of beads that fit in a set space. So you can fit 8 beads in the set space versus 11 beads in the set space. The quality of your beads does matter. I really like the Miyukis. Tohos are also super nice. There's other ones out there, but I always look for good glass beads, and I always look for ones that have a really good end. You don't want sharp ends, and you want to make sure that they are cut really nicely so that they slide on easily. I'm trying to think what else I need to tell you. Beads are super fun. Don't be afraid of them. And they add, a lot of sparkle to your work. They can be, these are super fun for bracelets and necklaces, lanyards, something like that, where you set the bead in the center. There is a style of tatting where, what is it called? Anchors? Where it's basically bead encrusted tatting. I like beads that accent the tatting more than take over the tatting, but that's a personal thing for me. I'm not a super sparkly person, so anyway. Let's see, what else did I want to tell you? Yada yada. Bead placement. So here, I wound all of my beads on that I thought I was going to use because I wanted to put them in the rings. So they needed to go on the shuttle so that it was working here versus my ball, because my ball is making my plain chains. If I had wanted to, I could have gone ahead and strung a bunch of beads on a second shuttle and pulled thread off of the ball and wound that up. But I chose to work it like this. So just something a little bit different. I actually need to cut this off and restart because I no longer recall what pattern this is. I did it briefly, very, very briefly, clearly, and tested it and then didn't go any further with it. Anyway, all right, I'm gonna flip this back up. Turn it around. There we go. There I am. There you are. So I hope nobody had any comments. Yeah, I don't see any comments. Okay. So yeah, that was just a little quick overview. I just kind of want to talk about beads and tatting and, some of the tools that are available out there. I do love my Flegel beater when it comes to knitting with beads or crocheting with beads. It's really easy to set them in. I really, really, really love the sticky bead mat though. I really, really love the sticky bead mat. Cannot tell you how much I love it. I mean, here I am, I'm holding it. I took the little plastic piece off, right? And love that. But you know, if you want to, then you can take a bead off, and I don't know, you probably can't see this, but I took a bead off and it's in my hand right there. So, and then here, I stuck it way out there so you can tell that I stuck it on out there. Really, really love the sticky bead mats, and they're cheap. Like, I don't want to say they're cheap. They are inexpensive, but high quality for what they are. Put it that way. So anyway, totally recommend them. They're great if you have to do any kind of commuting or traveling, which of course nobody's doing that right now, but it's always good to think towards the future. It's important to think towards the future. Yeah, so we are still sort of like barreling ahead with the plan of online shopping at Black Sheep, and we have changed all of our in-person groups to virtual groups for a couple of weeks. So if you have been planning to visit Black Sheep, that's kind of what's happening there. We are still offering like one at a time shopping, so you can make an appointment. I suppose we could have 2 people, but you know, we're really trying to limit the amount of shoppers that we have in the store at any one time. So you can make an appointment if you want. We have a brand new appointment scheduler thingy that's up on the website, so check that out. Yeah, Wednesday is kit day, so Wednesday I'm going to have a whole bunch of kits. There's a pretty good chance that I will be inside showing you kits, and I'm going to have color work kits and sock kits, cable kits. If there's a specific kit that you'd really, really like to see, you know, do make sure that you tell me, and I will try to make it happen. You can see a lot of the patterns that we offer at blacksheepfiberemporium.com. You can also check out my patterns. I can pretty well make kits from most of my patterns as well, so if there's one that you really like and you'd like me to make into a pattern for Black Sheep or a kit for Black Sheep, you know, let me know. I'll do what I can. What else do I need to tell you? I don't know. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourself mentally, emotionally, physically. You know, just be kind to yourself. Keep crafting. Please keep crafting. That's the really important thing. And Wednesday I'll be back with kit videos and show you what we put in kits, and I'll show you a few kits that are available, and maybe you'll find a little something to treat yourself or a loved one for the upcoming holidays. And we do ship, and we will ship internationally, especially if you contact us ahead of time. We'll try to do our very, very best to get you the least expensive shipping possible. So anyway, until Wednesday, take care of yourselves, and don't forget to tune in on Fridays as well, because Tina puts up her videos on Fridays. So see you next time.